Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another movie review, and today we are going to be reviewing a movie called The Creator, which is directed by Gareth Edwards. Now, you might know Gareth Edwards from the movie Monsters, Godzilla 2014, and obviously Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and this is the fourth feature film for Gareth Edwards, and I gotta say, man, well done. This is an amazing movie, and I will say this, because the premise of this movie is nothing new. It's about human versus AI, which we've seen many times already in media. Like the Terminator, obviously, that kind of like starting all of that. But I would say that it's actually the whole story was actually executed beautifully. Because it has so much more layer to it. And there's probably some messages in this movie that probably ambiguous in a way. And I love how Gareth Evers handles AI in this movie, because usually when you think of AI, you probably think of the Terminator, and then recently maybe you think that, oh, like it's trying to act like a human, in a way. But the AI of this movie is actually acting, not just acting like a human. There are human being. It's almost that you cannot differentiate them except their obviously their design on the head, which is like, oh, it's a robot, it's an AI, But if you just remove that design back here that makes it obvious, then yeah, I don't think you can differentiate any of them, because the AI in this movie is obviously human. They're not acting as a human, they are human, And I love that premise a lot, especially the way how the whole movie was shot is beautiful, because you got two cinematographer here, like Greg Fraser and then Oren Sofer. I think Greg Fraser is the one that shot Dune, right? And then also the Batman by Matt Reeves, So yeah, the cinematography is amazing, And the way I love how Gareth Evers decided to actually shot this movie on location, because here's the thing, like usually when you are seeing this science fiction movie, that obviously there is gonna be some green screen shot. But I feel like on this movie, I don't see any green screen shot, because Gareth Evers said that he shot this movie on 80 different location, and it was it was amazing to see that in the movie, because if you felt that this movie is real, do you feel the realism of it because it was shot on location, like you probably recognize some of the location, and obviously they add up some VFX there to include like the giant ship, the robots, obviously. But the fact that it was actually shot on location for the most part of this movie, it was amazing, except when they get to like the big city later on, where obviously, yeah, it's VFX, obviously, but yeah, so the movie itself follows a story for John David Washington character named Joshua, where he needs to find his ultimate weapon for the AI. But eventually he found out that the ultimate weapon is actually a little girl named Alfie, which is played by Madeline Yuna Voiles, which is a new actress, which does a great job, by the way. I think they both are amazing in this movie. And that's how the journey pretty much starts, because I think Joshua in the beginning doesn't really like AI, but you're gonna see that where the story is gonna go when he tries to protect this little girl, and eventually reach the main goal, for the winning the war, basically. And it becomes like the moral dilemma in the movie itself, even though maybe they don't really go too deep in the dilemma, but it's there, it's there on two scenes. And obviously for Joshua's character, it's like it's there, about the AI, because they are not real, but to some people they are real, so that kind of argument is like, yeah, again, maybe it's nothing new, but I do think that it's actually really well done in this movie, that because I actually care for this AI girl, even though he's not real, quote unquote, but the way he was written, the way the chemistry between the two of them, it was just amazing, to the point that you are rooting for the two of them to make it to the very end, and I think that's a really, really great choices by the writers, so yeah, besides that, the movie has some amazing action. Maybe it's not as stylish, but I love the way it was shot, it felt like an actual war movie, because I think Gareth Evers cited Apocalypse Now as an inspiration, which yeah, I can definitely see some Apocalypse Now inspiration for this movie, which I think is fantastic. Like how they shot the war, that it's actually felt real. It's not super stylized. It's actually amazing. Um, and obviously you also got great music by Hans Zimmer, which is, again, it's Hans Zimmer. Of course it's gonna be great. And the funny thing is that I saw the Wikipedia checking like the cast member and stuff like that, and then I see Hans Zimmer is scoring this movie. I was like, oh, this is gonna be amazing, And then when I saw the movie, yes, the music is amazing. The funny thing is, I forgot that Hans Zimmer is actually composing the score for some reason until the music, until the credits roll by. It was like, oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. You know, of course, it's gonna be incredible. You know, it's gonna be loud, obviously, which is yeah, great music. You know, not surprisingly. So Gareth Edwards also mentioned like he is inspired by Blade Runner and Akira the anime as well. And I can definitely see some of the inspiration for the movie itself. You know, when they got to this futuristic Tokyo in this movie, which I think is amazing. You know, it definitely has some vibe for Blade Runner and obviously Akira in as well. You know, because how Tokyo was portrayed in that anime, you know, which is called Neo Tokyo, I think, which like is amazing the way how the atmosphere look. You know, so when I see that in this movie, I was like, damn, like this could be a potential Akira live action, maybe. You know, even though I'm not exactly looking forward to it, I don't exactly care for that, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty close to an Akira live action movie, and also seeing Blade Runner again on the big screen, you know. So it's like it's a great stuff by Gareth Edwards, you know. I love how the atmosphere of the city, you know, and then obviously some ideas that about the AI that I think I kind of wait to see people discuss about that, you know, because I think there's some ideas here that I think quite interesting about AI, you know. I was like, oh, okay, that's quite interesting, you know. So yeah, it's a great movie, guys. Highly recommend you guys to watch this movie because it's just amazing, you know. Some critics said that it's like the best movie of 2023, which I think makes sense, you know, why some people might come out saying that, you know, because I think this movie is genuinely great, you know. There's probably some flaws here and there in terms of the writing, which I get it, you know, and especially how they introduce a lot of new characters that doesn't really matters by the end of the day. So I was like, okay, like cool, you introduce this character and I think they're fine, but it's just like they're not really doing that much on the plot, you know. So I was like, oh, okay, you know. So that's one of the criticism as well. And of course, Ken Watanabe was in this movie, and I feel like they're not really utilizing him that well in the movie. Like he served his purpose, but again, I was expecting a bit more, you know, from his character, you know. So just like that, you know, only that. And I was like, okay, it works, but also, come on, man, I want more, you know. And this movie is made with 80 million budget, you know, which is like amazing to think about because usually when you saw this movie, it has an amazing VFX, you know. I feel like when you are complaining about VFX recently, this movie will change your mind because like again, the VFX is actually great. And the budget is only $80 million, even though this movie could be 150 million or like 200 million budget because it certainly looked that way, you know, for the in terms of the VFX and how the scope of the movie looks. And I just surprised that this movie only had 80 million, you know. So it's like I'm really hoping that this movie are a box office success, you know, because I think what Gareth Edwards is making here is truly amazing in my opinion, you know. I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it, you know. It was engaging from beginning to end, you know. Yeah, maybe some of the writing was not perfect, you know, and obviously like I said before, the character got introduced that I feel like you wanted more of them, you know, in a way because it seems like they just like come and go in a way. So like yeah, there's that. But overall, I still think this is a great movie, so I highly recommend you guys to go check it out. You know, it's releasing on September 29, and I'm hoping that this movie is successful, you know, because I do think Gareth Edwards is a great director and also a great storyteller in a way. So I'm really hoping that he does make more movies in the future. Either it's gonna be another AI movie or it's gonna be another monster movie. Who knows, you know? But he is certainly a good director, and I'm really hoping that this movie will be successful, you know. And seeing that the budget of this movie is only $80 million, I'm hoping that it would make more in the box office. You know, it will be successful enough. You know, especially with the critics review. I'm really hoping you guys can actually go and watch this movie. You know, so yeah, you won't regret it. Trust me. You know. Anyway, guys, that's my review, and let me know in the comment section below what do you guys think about this movie. If you guys enjoyed this review, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the videos, usual stuff, guys. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future, guys. And again, I really hope you guys enjoy this review, and I will see you guys in the next one. Then, bye.